Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to go in and talk about tonight. Now, what will those stuff be? We're about to talk about in just a second. But first, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so right now. We have around a good 4 people in here and only 3 likes so far, so go and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button if you're new. We have 663 subscribers and we're trying to get to 700. We are right now 37 37 away from that main goal of 700. We're getting closer and closer by the day. We just got to keep on pushing our way there. 377 or 337. No, 370. I don't know what I was trying to say. I think I was trying to combine the 600 and the 3 and the 37 together, and somehow I got 300 for some reason, but that's not the question. 37 away. We're at 663. Okay, there you go. That's the right number. Get rid of that 330 number. That never happened. But also hit the share button. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, even the people that you may not even like, because it helps us out and it gives them a free weather forecast. Because everything here is free. Nothing here is paid for. So let's go on now and talk about, I should say, what we're going to talk about. So, what's on tap for today? We're going to talk about the freezing temperatures tonight, going into tomorrow night. We also will talk about our chilly but dry days as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then our growing potential for a significant winter weather this weekend. And I think that's what mainly everybody's talking about right now in terms of the weather, and that's just because confidence is growing. Confidence is growing with it. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. So, but first, what's currently going on? Well, right now, it looks like that we are nice and dry right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. So, that's definitely a positive. But if we go on and scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do, in fact, have some snowfall going on in New York to Michigan over into Vermont, Maine, getting it on some snowfall. Maybe even some snowfall and some sleet going on in Montana. And other than that, nice and dry for a lot of us, all the way from the southeast to the south central to the southwest. Might as well just say the west in general. We're all good. Now, what's going on in terms for our cloud cover? Well, cloud cover right now actually is non existent. Yes, cloud cover is non existent as we have no clouds right now covering the entire state. Everybody is nice and clear. Even if we go in and look at our cloud cover for the future, that will change, obviously. Like, for example, as we go all the way through 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, and we continue all the way through into tomorrow morning, so 7 o'clock, we start to see some cloud cover starting to make its way into the low country a little bit, and it will expand. Here's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, bringing cloud cover all the way from the Midlands towards the coastal areas. We go all the way to around 12 o'clock p.m. noon tomorrow, and we have cloud cover now pretty much over pretty much the southern half of the state going into the eastern half of the state. Into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, we do indeed have some more cloud cover, but it's now moving its way off. It's definitely a lot more clear, definitely more clear than it was earlier during the day at that point. And we just kind of just see a little bit of a resurgence again as we go into the nighttime hours, and we get pretty much mostly cloudy by Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, clouds covering a good amount of the state, all the way into the afternoon as well. Now, what about for our current temperatures? Well, right now, current temperatures in the low country around 37, from Somerville, 41 for like Beaufort and Charleston, 43 in Hilton Head Island. Over here in the Grand Strand, the PD areas, 41 in Murray's Inlet, Myrtle Beach, 38 in Georgetown, 37 in Conway, 35 inside of Florence and Sumter. Even inside of Bennettsville and Hartsville is 35. 36 in Orangeburg for our Midlands, 38 in Columbia, Aiken, 36 in Newbury, 36 in Lancaster, and for up here in the upstate, 38 Greenwood, 36 Lawrence, 35 Greenville, 33 Spartanburg, 32 Gaffney already, so we already have some below freezing temperatures going on. Also up there in Rock Hill, 32. If we go on into our air quality as well for tonight, air quality, we're in the good category. We don't have to worry about any sort of concerns in terms for our air quality index. Low temperatures for tonight, we have around a good 22 in Greenville, 22 in Spartanburg, as well as 22 in Rock Hill, 24 in Newberry, and 26 in Columbia, 25 in Winnsboro, and 24 in Camden, 25 in Sumter, and 24 also inside of Florence, 23 in Kingstree, and 27 in Moncks Corner, 32 in Charleston, and 34 in Hilton Head Island, 26 in Walterboro, and 28 in Georgetown, 30 Myrtle Beach, and 27 in Aiken, Orangeburg, 25 in Barnwell. And for the most part, we're all pretty much inside the 20s, low 20s up there inside the upstate, low 30s, but still below freezing near some of the coastal areas. But some areas won't be below freezing, like Hilton Head Island. And then for tomorrow, we indeed do have some more some more low temperatures for our high temperatures for tomorrow. We have around a good 40s from all the way from the upstate, the Midlands, the PD, the Grand Strand area, even inside of the low country, we get over into the 50s in terms for our high temperatures for tomorrow. So we look cool, for sure. Definitely looking cool. Rainfall for tonight, going into tomorrow, just for the most part, not expected. So no rainfall tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night till around 7 o'clock ish. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 38. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And so, number one, very low actual temperatures across the board, widespread inland lows all the way from the low 20s, maybe even some sheltered valley slash upstate spots, 18 degrees, 18 to 20 degrees ish possible. Even some coastal beaches, like I said, around 30 degrees. And so this is well below typical for mid-January for most of South Carolina. And there will be around 10 plus hours below freezing. For example, like we just talked about, up there in Rock Hill, up there inside of near Gaffney, we already have areas below freezing already, or at least at freezing already. And so this will also be perfect for our radiation and cooling ingredients as well. Completely clear skies, winds dropping, extremely low humidity slash dry air. This will allow temperatures to plummet faster. And then also widespread frost as well. Patchy to widespread frost expected on cars, grass, rooftops, exposed surfaces, visual confirmation of how cold it gets, and an indirect indicator of pipe slash plant stress. And so that, we're not any higher because obviously, no wind, no thunderstorms, no fog, no active precipitation, anything like that. And then even if we go on now towards the SPC outlook for tonight, thunderstorms are not expected tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So we are good for all 3 of our days here. Excessive rainfall, fire, all of that is also not in the equation as well. So we're all good here. So let's go on and look at the models. We're going to look at the short term first, then we're going to go on and look at the long term. But we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You want to push this forward all the way into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, nice and dry. We go all the way to 12 o'clock in the morning on the 21st. And we stay nice and dry. As we continue all the way through the 21st in like the late morning hours, looks like we still are nice and dry until we get to around later in the afternoon on the 21st here. We start to see some rainfall, maybe trying to trickle its way through inside of the upstate. But like I said, this model right here is a bit too far out. We can go look at the NAM, though, see what the NAM has to say. If we go all the way here to 7 o'clock p.m., the NAM here has some precipitation not quite making it to the state, kind of like right on that border. But that's pretty much all. In terms of the short-term future, not really too much to say there. In terms for our temperatures, though, like I said, below freezing temperatures tonight. We will see that tomorrow. Same thing, below freezing temperatures again tomorrow night. So make sure that your plants, pipes, pets, all that stuff is taken care of. And then as we get into the next night, it's a bit too far out, but I believe that night right there will not be as cold as the previous nights. So let's go on now and look at our long-term future. And let's go in and talk about this weekend's potential snow, which some people may even say ice threat as well. We start off right here, 7 p.m., January the 21st. Nice and dry conditions. I mean, we start off going into like the 22nd as well. We do, in fact, have some pretty nice conditions. Maybe some showers going on inside of the upstate a little bit, but nothing too crazy, just normal rainfall. Going into the 23rd, we have some more active activity starting to come through, and then we start to see that switch over to snow. This is on the 24th. On the 24th, right here on Saturday. Snowfall going on inside of the upstate. You have rainfall going on in like the southern Midlands. PD area might even be getting some snowfall as well, and you can see that change over from rain to ice for a good amount of us. And then look at this. Again, this is preliminary. This is 126 hours out. It will not seem exactly like this, but what I will say is that it seems like the more towards the coast, and we've seen this for a good amount of runs now, the more you are towards the coast, it seems like the more likely you'll have to see some ice instead of snowfall. Now, you go into like the middle part, you have more of a sleet risk, which I probably should outline the colors. The pink is ice, the purple is sleet, and then the blue is snow. So, like I was saying, it looks like for the most part, blue being snow, purple, being sleet, pink being ice, all of that will change. But you can see kind of like some snow kind of leaves right behind it, though, covers like a good amount of the area within, and then it just leaves, gets out of here. And so if we go on and look at our just totals in terms of like all of snowfall, in terms for the freezing precipitation as well. I can go on and look at that right now. If we go to the forecast, we go to the WPC, or actually I'm going to have to go to the models real quick. We will go to the GFS. We'll go all the way down towards the southeast. Switch that over. If we go down here towards the southeast, we move on over into the forecast loop, and then we scroll our way down, go to winter weather, and go all the way over into the total snowfall risk. If you go on and push this forward, you can see that snowfall definitely moves in a lot, but it's mainly over there for the upstate. Now, this is preliminary, like I said again, this is preliminary, so this is not going to be what happens, but you do in fact see that 19 inches of snow right there inside like the northern Midlands right here. But it completely whiffs down here in the low country. It completely whiffs down here inside of the Grand Strait area. That is because that's not snow. That would be sleet/ice instead. Let's go in and look at that. Let's go and look at that totals map real quick. Up to probably like an inch of ice. So, a lot. So it kind of has that cutoff with it. At least that's what the models are telling us now. It has that cutoff to where the lower part of the state gets ice, the northern part gets snow. And so, a completely different scenario. Obviously, ice being the more dangerous of the two. I think all of us would rather have snow than ice, because ice, you can't go anywhere without slipping and sliding, and it's way more slippery than snow. Like, a lot more slippery than snow. Especially if you have ice that is under the snow as well. That could also deceive some people. But this is, like I said a million times, I'm going to keep on saying it, this is preliminary. Things will change. This right here is 100 and almost 50 hours out into the future. This will not be exactly how you see it. But this could potentially be a pretty bad situation, especially if a lot of us get an inch of ice. Maybe even, I think I just saw maybe a bit more than that, like an inch and a half for some spots. So we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens, but this could be a significant winter storm right here, if it gets going. Now, even if we go and look at the temperatures as well, if I can go in and find it, I believe it is right here. If we go in and push this forward all the way through, you can see these below freezing temperatures. Like even during the daytime, high temperatures for a lot of us will still be below freezing for this day. This is going into Saturday and Sunday. So, again, that possibility that we will only have high temperatures, some of us probably won't even get above freezing on next weekend. It's possible. It definitely is possible, even as you go into the next night. This is going into Monday morning. Temperatures down at -1 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, yeah, I'm not joking. I'm not joking with this potential of dangerous cold as we go into next weekend, or this weekend, I guess technically. You do see that correctly. That does say -1, and a lot of us would be inside of the single digits either way. If this is to happen as modeled. If this is to happen as modeled. And then you can also go in and look at the wind chills as well, because if any winds with this, that's going to make it even colder. We go in and look at it. It looks like wind chills, for the most part, will definitely impact it. I see a -7 over there near Florence. I see a -4 near Sumter. I see a 17 in Charleston. I see a 0 degrees in Myrtle Beach. I see a 10 degrees inside of Greenville. I see a 5 degrees in Anderson. And just pretty much this eastern half inside this purple area right here is down in the negatives in terms of wind chill. So the whole question is this going to keep up? Is the models going to keep going? Because we were talking about those temperatures down to single digits yesterday, and that's a completely new situation, because even if it doesn't snow, still having temperatures down in the negatives for South Carolina standards, when's even the last time that we've even seen that? I remember the last time that we've really got to like single digits was due to wind chills, and that was, I believe, when we had that cold front back in, I think it was 2022. We had that cold front move in, and we had temperatures down near like 6 degrees-ish or so, somewhere around there. So that's the last time that I know about it. But pretty much, what's the main thing with this growing potential for significant winter weather this weekend? And pretty much the main thing for it is that it's still highly uncertain. It is still very highly uncertain, but that confidence is rising. It is rising. While details like exact timing, precipitation types, amounts, the affected areas remain uncertain, typical for a 5 to 7 day forecast. Ensemble agreement, pattern recognition, and probabilistic guidance, like 50 to 70+% chance for minor impacts in some areas, indicate preparation is warranted. So, this should definitely be the time. If you have to prepare for a winter storm, I would go on and start doing that now. I would go on. Doesn't matter if you're on the snow side, and especially matters if you're on the ice side of it. You got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Get whatever you need. If you have, a lot of us might be out of power, especially if you're on the ice side. A lot of us might not be able to really do anything in terms of going out anywhere. So you got to make sure that all of that stuff is ready, just in case if worse does come to worse. But we'll continue to look at that. And then also, I had like a little graph here that I can show, and then we'll talk with the audience in just a second. But I have all this, I had like a little meter right here, see if I can find it. I believe it is down here. Yeah. So right now, I think we're going into around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're about 5, getting around that 5 to 7 days out mark. We're out of the pattern recognition part. This is staying, but so we got to see, they still got to see the consistency of it. Is it looking more likely or looking less likely? And right now it's looking more on the likely side of it right now. So right now it is trending up. It is trending up. It's not like it's trending down or anything like that. Looks like that it's on the trend up right now. And so that adds a lot of confidence towards this forecast for a lot of people. And so I think that is about all in terms for our long-term future. So that's a lot right there to digest. But we're gonna go on now and check in with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Actually, I just saw a chat real quick. I might check out the other model for it as well. I'll get to that in just a second. Before we talk about San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia, I'll check that one out too. But starting off, Mr. Chris was here first tonight. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Mild Lewis says, good evening, everyone. I pray that everyone had a wonderful day. Thank you for that. Mr. Chris says, currently it's 37 degrees here at Moncks Corner and partly cloudy. Well, right now at my house, it's around 34. 34 right now. And it is pretty clear right now. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mild Lewis says, today in Georgetown, we had a high of around 50 degrees. Around my house, we had a high of around 54. 54. Mr. Chris has been keeping up with the other forecasts and seeing that the confidence is growing for some winter weather this weekend. Absolutely. It absolutely is. No doubt about it. He also says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. If it's free and it helps the channel grow. He's absolutely correct. Right now we have around 17 people that have tuned in so far and only 8 likes. So if you are a part of that 9 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. And also hit the subscribe button if you're new. Maya Lewis says it was nice and sunny today, but I did not go out at all. As we continue our way down, he also says, nephew, I did share the link with my grandson and family. They are on their way to Philadelphia. Well, right now, I mean, like I said, if we go back and look at it, I mean, it looks nice right now from wherever they're coming from. I'm assuming that they're coming down somewhere along the East Coast somewhere, possibly. But I mean, it looks dry for them. So I don't really see anything too bad occurring for them. If they're coming from the East Coast side, though. Let's continue our way down. Trail says, greetings, everyone. It's cold. It is cold. And then Mr. Chris says on the color chart, purple is the mix between the snow and the ice. Well, yes, but I guess technically yes. But I mean, some people, the way how some people see it is they kind of see it like a sleet, so it's like in between both for snowfall and for ice. So pretty much, yeah, sleet mixed between snow and ice, pretty much the same. Thad says, Gideon Joseph and Weather 360 family, I trust all is well. It was beautiful, mild day here inside of San Antonio. Well, that's great to hear from you. He also says it was up in the mid-30s this morning, but warmed up into the mid-60s. Hopefully, we will not be experiencing more colder weather here in the future. It is around 55 degrees right now. Well, thank you so much for that weather update for where you are, and we'll talk about San Antonio in your future. Then Mr. Chris says some of the other people are saying that the GFS and the Euro are pretty much in agreement now. Let's go on and look at that. We can go on and look at both of them real quick. If we go on to the European, yeah. The European, though, in my opinion, seems to have more of a ice. Seems to have more of like a freezing rain ice aspect to it. And if you can see over here on the side, you were just talking about the thing in the middle being a mix of kind of like freezing rain and snow, the purple. On this graph right here, you can see over here on the right side, sleet over here down here. So it's rain being the greens, the yellows, the red, freezing rain being more in like the pinkish and the maybe even a little bit reddish, sleet being in the purple, snow being over here inside of the blue. And so, like I say, kind of just a mix between the both. But if we continue our way through, like I was saying though, for the most part, it looks like freezing rain for the most of us. According to this model right here for the Euro, for at least what this one's saying, even if we go back into the past a little bit, you can see it pretty much says, maybe some snowfall up there in the upstate, but for the most part, freezing rainfall. Even if we go and look at temperatures will be down as well. Is it as cold as the GFS? I don't think it's as cold as the GFS. You can see right here for the GFS, I mean, this thing has temperatures down near like 3 degrees or so for a lot of us. So like I said, those temperatures still have to work their way out as well, and that's a completely different issue that we have to watch out for. Just because it being in the negatives for temperatures, even for wind chills, is definitely not ideal. Definitely not ideal. And then let's see, is there anything else I can see here inside of the chat? Maya Lewis says it sounds dangerous, especially ice and sleet. Absolutely. Ice and sleet definitely is more dangerous. Definitely is more dangerous than just snowfall. So that's all here in terms of the chat. Let's go on now and talk with talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and talk about their areas for them. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first, as always, with low temperatures tonight at around 46. High temperatures tomorrow at around 60. And then low temperatures tomorrow night at around a good 54. Yes, at around a good 54. Now, what's going on in terms for your precipitation? Precipitation is indeed possible as you go into tomorrow night. Chance of showers here. And you will warm up. You will warm up. Wednesday, 69. Thursday, 72. Friday, 70. But then you'll cool right back down again. And I know you said you did not want another cool down, but unfortunately it's going to happen for you again. Saturday, high of 44. Sunday, high of 41. Low of 28. And you might not believe this, but there is a chance of rain or freezing rain on Saturday night. So if it, like I said, 28 degrees, it matters on that timing. But if it is right now, if it is in that more freezing rain category, well, we could be talking about some different issues there, because even like 1/100 of an inch of ice could cause problems easily. Now, what's going on in terms of your severe weather? For right now, it looks like that you are good right now in terms of severe weather. And I can even go and look at everybody else's from the 4 areas, and it says no severe weather for everybody. Excessive rainfall. Seems like everybody's good in terms of excessive rainfall as well. So for all 4 locations, severe weather and excessive rainfall are not expected. Then for Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight around 23, high temperatures tomorrow at around 41, then low temperatures tomorrow night around 19. Precipitation, for the most part, not expected at this time. Until you get to around Thursday, you have a 20% chance of showers. And then as you get into this weekend, you will have snow and freezing rain as you go into this weekend. Same thing with South Carolina will have as well. So all things to watch for as you get into this weekend. So then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight around 15, high temperatures tomorrow at around 23, and then low temperatures tomorrow night around 10 degrees. It is indeed going to be just like a more colder time. You will warm up, like Wednesday 36, Thursday 45, Friday 34. But then Saturday your high temperature will be 19, and then your low temperature will be 11, and then your high temperature on Sunday will be 19, and then your low temperature will be 8 degrees. So you're going to be definitely back to being chilly again as you go into this weekend. It seems like most of us will be, and I haven't even talked about Duncan, Oklahoma yet, but that's another big one as well. But snowfall definitely will most likely occur for you. It has a chance of snow, probably around like a 30 to around a 50% chance for Saturday night, going all the way actually from Saturday going into Sunday night. So a good amount of time. And then for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 20, high temperatures tomorrow at around 52, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at around 38. Chance of showers on Thursday night, but Friday, wintry mix is likely. What is that? Well, we were just talking about it. Sleet. Sleet is likely as you go into Friday. Friday night, snow showers are likely. Saturday, snow showers are definitely possible again on Saturday. So it looks like, for the most part, that pretty much all of these areas, all 4 areas, will have a chance for some winter precipitation that goes all the way from the next couple of days into this weekend. And so that's all for these 4. What's going on right now throughout the entire U.S.? Well, no, not that. Looks like right now, heavy lake effect snow and lake enhanced snow will persist downwinds of the Great Lakes and produce some whiteout conditions that could cause difficult travel conditions. A coastal low will then produce moderate to heavy snow over parts of the southern and the eastern New England area into the afternoon. Below average temperatures are expected across the eastern U.S., particularly with chilly morning temperatures as we go throughout the next day or 2. So that's a lot of stuff. We even have some fog going on over there in California, parts of western Oregon as well. And then, for the most part, I think that is about all in terms of the forecast here. That's about all in terms of the forecast here. So that is pretty much it here. Let me go on real quick and look at the top fans real quick for the night. Mr. Chris is still at that number 1 spot. If I go on and look at number 2, Maya Lula is at number 2. Thad's at number 3. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. Let me go and find my applause real quick. It should be right here. There it is. Yep, so congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. Let me see if we have anything else out of the chat. Mr. Chris says, everyone, please remember to stay safe and warm and hydrated and check on the elderly and pets and plants. Absolutely. Make sure your plants are inside. My plants are already inside or inside the garage as well. And then, if you, do whatever you need to do for pets or anything like that, as well as pipes as well. If you need to open up kitchen cabinets, if you need to trip anything, that would definitely be great. But that's all that I have here. Remember, I will be back tomorrow morning for your Tuesday morning forecast update. We have a lot to go over, especially again tomorrow evening when the models get a little bit more consistent. But this is going to be pretty interesting to track. It's going to be pretty interesting to track this storm, this winter storm, as we go throughout the next couple of days and as we get more refined on it as well. And so I'm going to just continue to watch for it. And, we'll just see where it goes from there. Remember to go on and have all of your winter storm plans in place. I know I cannot believe that I'm saying that right now. But make sure that all of that is in place because this could potentially be a real thing that we're talking about here. Real dangerous thing we could be talking about here. Not only that, but also hit the subscribe button if you're new. This is a dire time. I said this a lot during hurricane season because, hurricanes and all that kind of stuff, definitely a huge threat. But also, now, same thing. This is a possibly very dire time where people need to know about this weather event that's coming up. So make sure that you go on and share with your friends, family members, acquaintances, even people that you don't even like, because you never know. Somebody could be off guard and just not know anything about it. Also, make sure you go and hit the like button as well. And if you're not subscribed yourself, go on and do so. Mr. Chris says, will you be live for the storm? That's a good question. Matters what happens in terms of what I have going on during the time. I might just leave like the radar thing running because that's what I did for the snow. The forecasts were still the same. I did it from my morning updates. Still did my night updates at 9:00 p.m. So it just depends. It just depends on what I have going on. But if I'm bored and I just want to go and go live, I probably will. But again, we'll see what happens there. But I will be back tomorrow morning. Make sure you're there for your Tuesday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday. And make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave.